9,000, and then the only downside is that you can't touch, as if it's open in their name, you can't touch it until they're 18, and it's their money, it's not your money, right? So, yeah, those opportunities, I believe, are out there. And then in terms of the next one, or any question on ISA, if it's of interest to you.
Are we learning from this? Please, at least let's learn something. Don't just take it for granted. It's a serious thing. Many people have made money on this. This is an opportunity to learn. It's not, we are taking the time of God to learn it because we want people to be financially free. It's not just because we just want to teach it. Please listen. Even youth, listen. You can learn something from this. If I was your age now and I learned this, I would be a billionaire in the next 1 year.
Yes.
So if at the end of the tax year, are you allowed to withdraw the money?
No, you can withdraw anytime you want.
Okay.
Right? It's just that, the year is April. The tax year is April, right?
Yeah.
So April to April. Is it March? Well, April starts in April to March, yeah. So you can take your money anytime you want, not the junior ones. Yeah. You can take your money anytime you want. There's no restriction on that. But what they're saying is that if you put in more than 20,000 in a year, then that excess over 20,000 will be subjected to tax.
Okay.
So if I put in 21,000, for instance, right, meaning for the first 20,000, is tax-free. So let's say the money grows to, for ease of calculation, anyway, it grows to 30,000, meaning that on the 30,000, there is a portion that will be tax-free. Let's assume that the gain on the 1,000 is another 1,000, assumption. That 1,000, that excess over 20,000 pounds will now be subjected to tax, which is going to reduce whatever you're getting.
Okay, so you're allowed to start every year?
Yeah, every year. Yeah,
makes sense.
Yes.
So is it possible to deduct this from the source of the, let's say from the salary, the source of the salary?
No, it's
you have to manually do it yourself.
So you must have been taxed, your income tax. So this is different from pension that could be deducted from source without being subjected to tax.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Then I get a profit on it. Next year, if I happen to have another 20,000, can I add it to that? Or it's every year, it has to be 20,000?
It is annual. Anyway, it's an annual limit. I was going to point it out. So meaning in 2020, you have 20,000. Next year, you can add another 20,000. So you can keep adding 20. But if you exceed 20,000 in a year, then you're going to be charged tax on whatever gain on that.
Okay. I would like to understand something. So this stock and shares ISA, is it like a platform we used to buy shares? Say, for instance, like Lloyd's shares now.
No. So if you can check the apps, right? There's again, not a recommendation, just the ones in my head. There's a platform called AJBL. There's something called Vanguard. There's Legal and General, LGIM, I believe, and insurance and all that. So all of these platforms provide you with, these companies provide you with a platform, to invest. So you can invest in S&P 500, you can invest in cash ISA, you can invest in S. So you can go to your phone and then just put in all of these companies out there.
Because
when you speak about Vanguard and all, they're also into pension.
Yes.
So instead of going differently, do you advise that you do it through pension because it's almost like the same? the cash, the savings, and the pension, because they spread it across, isn't it?
Yeah. So do you mean me contributing more?
Yeah,
To it?
yeah.
It is advisable. However, the downside of pension is that you are locked in for a long time.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to access
cash it.
until previously 65, but
Okay.
now it's been
Instead of
increased to
yearly.
67. For ISA, if I have a financial need tomorrow, all I need to do is click a button and then I get my money. But pension is very important, which is one other point I would like to get to at some point. So is this clear on ISA? Yes. Ma.
How much can we start for ASA?
There is no, I think I said here, 20 pounds, is that? Oh, okay, it's not there. So as low as 20 pounds, as low as whatever works for you on a monthly basis, you
On a
can
month-
keep contributing. There is no minimum
Amount.
amount that you can use to invest.
Let's say I want to start ASA.
Yes.
Can I start with 500 pounds?
Yes, you can start. There's no limitation to say this is the minimum. So, okay, well, many of them can say to start with, you can have like maybe 50 or 100. But in terms of what you contribute on a monthly basis, is whatever works for you, 20 pounds, whatever.
Okay. How often did they give interest? How often?
So it depends on what you are investing on. If you are investing in a cash ISA,
Yeah.
there are two. There's cash ISA and there is stocks and share ISA. If you are investing in a cash ISA, it must have been clear to you at the beginning that the annual percentage or whatever they are paying to you is 4%, 5%, 7%, whatever it is. It must have been clear.
If it is long term?
If it's a
ISA,
long-term ISA,
ISA for 1 year,
yeah.
how
So
much will it be?
is it cash?
Cash?
So if it's cash, so I'm saying that when you open the account, they must have told you X percentage. So if I give, for instance, if you're putting in 1,000, 5% of 1,000 is what? It's very small. 5% is 5 pounds, isn't it? But it's small. It looks small, right? But it is what it is. It looks small.
Because what is the difference between, sorry?
Yeah. 50. Sorry. 50. Sorry.
What is the difference between?
Most people who cash in on it are those who have the 20,000. Because when you do 5% of that, it's way because if you are the one doing 10, 100 pounds,
But if your intention really is capital appreciation, then the other one, stocks ISA, is more preferable because it can go up.
That's 20,000.
No, this one here.
This one. Okay, the share.
Stocks and shares. Because they are investing this in shares of different companies.
Yeah,
And if the company's share price goes up, if these companies perform well, then they are going to pay a return to you for investing in this company. And then that has a better return compared to when you are investing in a cash ISA. And I think I put it here that from April 2027, the government is limiting how much you can invest in cash ISA because government want to encourage you not to invest in cash ISA, but to go for the one that have a higher return.
And then there is one they call limited savers, limited savings. It's different from just
Now,
ordinary saving.
now I'm
It's in the
assuming
middle.
now I'm assuming this is a particular product for a bank.
I think it's saving, limited saving they call it. But their interest is so small. It's about £2.
Yeah.
And 1,000 every month. No.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between these savings and ISA? Do you think ISA is better than savings?
It depends on the rate you were given. So, I mean, when I opened, it's usually maybe 4%, 5%, and Yeah. So the interest will always be low. Again, like I said, that is why the government is encouraging people to move away from cash to the one that could potentially, that has a higher upside as against, in terms of return, basically.
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you.
there's no limit as to how much you can contribute on a monthly basis. And just to, again, we may not get there, right? Maybe I can quickly, do you have the compound interest calculator? Yeah. So maybe I can quickly show you an example of, in terms of return. So if the cash ISA, for instance, or the fund, remember this cash ISA, they invest in funds, and these funds are based on companies. So if these funds, right, like we've said, return 10% average, again, historically, on an annual basis, can we, is this it? Yeah, so if you do maybe £100 for 25 years, assuming 10%. This is loan repayment. This is not compound interest. Yeah. Annual? 25, well, long term, 25. Deposit, do we have deposit anywhere? Yeah, this is a monthly deposit. So you can have this as 100 or have this as 0. So can we pay attention to this? Because this is important, actually. So if you save £100 every month, so let's say, for instance, for these children that we have, these young ones, if we invest £100 for them on a monthly basis, right? Assuming 10% interest return, which is what historically you get on an S&P. Again, I'm not saying it's going to always be that way, but over the last 15, 20 years, you're going to get 10%. It means that at the end of 25 years, how much are you going to have for £100? £123,000. But that is not the catch. The catch really is that if this amount is going to be 123,000, how much did you invest over time? You've invested just 30,000, but this is how much you have, which speaks to what I talked about in the power of compounding. Because if you made 1,000 last year, the next year you are going to be making return on whatever you've earned before and return on that 1,000. And then next year is also going to be applicable. So that speaks to the power of compound. Again, this is also applicable to pension. Maybe I'll just speak to real estate lastly. I don't know how much. There's a lot in the slide, but I'm not sure I can. But is this clear, if you get what I mean, in terms of adopting this for many of these aspirants, actually? 15 years. So the longer the period, right? So, yeah. Okay, so maybe next one, when do I stop? 2:30? Yeah, so let me just look at, lastly, I'll look at real estate. I can't finish, obviously. So lastly, I'll look at real estate. Or maybe I leave real estate. Let me speak to pension, 2 points, pension and insurance. Does this work, please? I'll try and finish it in 15 minutes if it works. I like insurance because let's do insurance. Okay, so if I may ask, beyond, for those of us that have cars, beyond the car insurance that you have, do we have any other form of insurance to ourselves? Personally, not company. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so the essence of this is that life happens, right? And you don't have control as to whether life will happen or not, but you have control as to what will happen when life happens. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'll tell you a quick story. There was a guy on the internet, right? He has a popular YouTube where he speaks about insurance. And then he said he himself and a friend works in a particular company, right? But all of a sudden, the guy that he works in the company with bought a house, bought a car, and then he was asking himself, we earn the same money. Where are you getting your money from? So he asked the guy, and the guy told him, oh, his dad died, and then his dad had an insurance for which paid out to him and all other children. And he was telling himself, oh, but his father just died too. But his father did not do that. Do you get what I mean? So he was telling himself, his father just died, but he didn't do that. So meaning that his father planned for him, but this other father did not. So what I'm saying in essence is that as far as protection is concerned, this guy here, I'm very peculiar about it. If you can, please, if you can, by all means, again, I'm begging, if you can, if not for you, if not for your partner, for the sake of your children, please do this, right? Because, again, it has the capacity to set them up. We are not praying to die. Nobody prays to die. But if it happens, we don't have control. We don't want a scenario where your children's education is now dependent on some contributions or some good gesture from anyone. So please, if you can, and for a sum assured of, between 20 to 30 pounds a month, you could have sum assured of up to, I think, about 200, 250 pounds, which is not, if you ask me, is not significant, right? Given the benefit. And guess what? I did the calculation, because when I did one, what you are going to pay over the next 40 years, is just 13,000. But God forbid, again, we always pray, if something happens, the payout, if it happens, is very chunky. So please, if you can, please do that, right? I think I can stop because, obviously time did not permit me to do the many things I want to say, but yeah, I guess I'll just stop here.
Thank you, Rotul. How many of us learned something today? Please go and use it. Go and use it. We're deliberate in teaching this because in the society where we're in, there are opportunities to save. It's not money doubling like back home. It's just insurance. They believe in it and it works for them. And we should be here and know about it. I could have said, oh, it's God's altar. But even God wants us to prosper in the land we're in. If there are opportunities for you to prosper, then you should know it. There are some information we must not keep quiet about. I believe as black people, we're the worst set of people that do not give ourselves information. Asians, once somebody knows something, everybody knows it. So it is not enough for you to sit on it. Please, as you go, if you have friends and family members that should profit from it, please tell them. We should not be the same set of people. You know, I was telling my husband yesterday, it is only when people die in black community we celebrate them. When they are alive, they are not known. We don't speak about them. But once they die, everybody start putting it on their DP. We should learn to celebrate people when they are alive. When you have information, pass it out. Some of us have friends, families, tell them about it. Even if it's the junior ISA, tell them about it. The insurance, tell them about it. Because our thinking about insurance from where we come from is that they just take our money and eat it. They pay it out here. May you not die early. That is the only problem. But should in case it happens, they are going to pay it. So please, let's teach those who are not here, those who are friends, colleagues at work, you know, just talk about it. This is what I learned from church on Sunday. And I will put it online. There is a file that Brother Tolu sent. I'll put it online. Go and sit down. Even if you don't understand, they call him. Visit him. Maybe that's an opportunity to visit him. Go and sit down and ask him to work it out for you. Let's learn to learn. Knowledge is very, very powerful. The Lord will help us. Let's put on the light. And the reason why many of us are not paying tithe and offering is because the money is not enough. May it be enough for us in Jesus' name. But start investing. We have learned something today. Go and look on AJ Bell. Go online. There are so many investment opportunities. The banks are there. The stock ISA is there. The government bonds are there. You know, like we said, start with something. The problem with many of us is we want to put 1,000. Start with the £5. Start with and I'm saying it. I've said it 3 weeks ago now. The £5 for the ISA for the children. If you have put in £5 per week, how much is it now? £15. That will contribute towards something. Let's rise. I'm only doing this because, like I always say, when we came to the country, we didn't have opportunities to learn all these things. Nobody told us about them. And we must not be those people that dies with information. When you have information, let people benefit from it. It's one of the weaknesses in the black community. We just hoard information. It is not good. As you go out, let at least 5 people benefit from what you have learned today. Tell people in your circle. Let those who have children know they can save up to it. And youth, you know, tell yourself about it. I know many of you don't like information. You're already overloaded with the information. But we'll put it online. We'll put it on the chat. Go and learn about it. Call the banks. Go to cooperative. Cooperative is very good with things like this. Go to cooperative. They will sit down and tell you everything they have. Cooperative is a very good bank when it comes to investments, individuals. They will tell you every option you can go into. So walk into them. Don't be afraid. You are not in Nigeria. You are abroad. When you walk in, just say, I want to know about your investment opportunities. Somebody